So resistivity is basically, if you want to define it according to your Cambridge requirement, you need from your Cambridge style, Cambridge specification. So you can write its definition mathematically. That resistivity is basically resistance multiplied by cross-section area. Cross-section area of the wire.
Sir, we discussed till diameter. Sorry,
Mhm.
resistance is directly inversely proportional to diameter squared. That's
Diameter
will
square.
be
Yes,
answer.
this is the next thing which we need to do. Okay. Resistance multiplied by cross-section area of the wire and divided by its length. That can be the definition of resistivity. So it means I can say that resistivity is equal to, mathematically you can write in this way, resistivity is equal to resistance multiplied by cross-section area divided by length. So this is word equation, but in symbols you can write like this. Resistivity symbol is rho and it can be R into area over length. And SI unit of resistivity is ohm into meter. And how we can write ohm into meter? Uh, what is the unit of resistance? It's ohm. What is the unit of area? It's meter square. What is unit of length? It is meter. So it means ohm into meter square over meter. So definitely 1 meter will be cancelled out. So you will get ohm into meter. Okay, so it means resistivity unit is ohm into meter. And many times they have asked this thing in MCQs that unit of resistivity is, they gave 4 options and definitely ohm meter is one of the option. Okay, so you should know the unit of resistivity. Okay, beside this, you should know the actual physics behind it. What is the actual meaning of resistivity according to physics? This is, I have only given you the definition, which is mathematical definition. You can see here. So what can be the physics behind it? So I can say that resistivity is property of a material by which it opposes flow of charge. Okay, so this can be the concept. And one more thing, you should know that resistivity has fixed value for a specific material. What is the meaning of this? For example, if you're talking about copper, so it has fixed value. We are talking about steel, so it would be constant. So resistivity is constant for a specific material. In other words, it cannot be changed. It's not possible that resistivity can be changed. So resistivity is a constant value, it has a fixed value. This is also one of the very important factor on which resistivity depends. Okay, so what type of questions they can give you and how you can solve it? Let me give you an example. Suppose if we say that There is one wire here, and its diameter is D, for example. And its length is L. Instead of diameter, if I use, for example, area instead of diameter, so I just want to do an easy example first, area. And if we are saying that its length is L and its resistance is R, and it's basically copper wire, for example. There's another copper wire, and its dimensions are in a way that area is, for example, area is doubled, but length is reduced by 4 times. For example, this is L by 4. So it's also copper wire. And they're asking you to calculate the resistance of this wire. I can call it R prime, for example, just to distinguish it from that. So this is wire 1, this is wire 2. And it is mentioned that both are same material wires. Okay, so you need to find out this resistance R prime. And if you remember, I think we have done this type of question in our last maybe MCQs practice, but let's do it. So according to our resistivity formula, so I can write for wire 1, can I write like this, rho is equal to R1 area 1 over length 1. Similarly for wire 2, it can be rho, it would be R2 A2 over length 2. Okay, as these are of same material wires, so definitely you can equate these resistivity, and their resistivity is same. So it means I can equate them. Even you can call it R rho 1, you can call it rho 2. So same type of material. So it means rho 1 must be equal to rho 2. And resistivity is same. So I can equate these two. So it means I can say rho 1 equals to rho 2. So just put the values. R1 A1 over length 1 equals to R2 A2 over length 2. So what was R1? R1 was R and length was L. So I can just put values here. R into area over length. And R2 we need to find out. I can call it R prime. A2 is, I think I have double the area, you can see. So just put 2A here over L2 was reduced to 1 by 4. So you can use L by 4 here. Is it clear? So you can see that area can be cancelled from both sides. So this L by 4, when I will take it on this side, so L by 4 multiplied by R by L equal to R prime into 2. So this length can be cancelled by this length. So R, this 2 will be multiplied here. I mean divided on the other side. So can I write it? R by 8 equal to R prime. So it means new resistance is basically R by 8. Is it clear, students? So this can be one of the way by which you need to deal with the resistivity formulas. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
That's good. So this is one of the very simple way in which they can give you question. Either they can give you in terms of diameter as well. For example, let me do another example here. Suppose there is a wire here and they have given you diameter of the wire as D. Instead of area, if they give you question in terms of diameter, and this is the most common way in which they give you questions. So L is the length of the wire, and R is its resistance, and rho is its resistivity. Okay. So if type of the material is same and they are increasing or decreasing length, for example, if length is reduced by L by 2 and diameter is, for example, मैं इसको diameter को कर देता हूँ double 2D. So what will be the resistance? I can also do it in indirect way. You know, instead of using this formula and doing all this calculation, I can do it directly. There is also a direct way to do this. Let me try that, because I need to train
Okay.
you for all the aspects now. I mean, for all the methods. So what is our required resistance R prime? So I can call it R prime, for example. We know that, I'm just writing at side. Resistance is directly proportional to length, and resistance is inversely proportional to diameter square. You have studied these two factors. Okay. Now, if L is halved, so what will be the effect on resistance? Resistance will also be halved.
Will also be half.
So there will be one factor, 1 by 2 can come here. Okay. Now, diameter is doubled. So what will be the effect on R? It's
Will
inversely
be square
d
root.
square. It's inversely proportional to d square.
Will be square root.
No, no, no. If I'm saying that R equals to 1 over d square, suppose, or just take it 2, for example. या चले अपनी अंडरस्टैंडिंग के लिए इसको 1 ले लेना 1 centimeter. So if it will be 2 centimeter, then what will happen? So यहाँ पे क्या फैक्टर आएगा? मेरा कहने का मतलब ये है, what factor you will get?
4. 4 like
1 by 4.
2 square.
If you're
1 by
doubling the
1 by
diameter, so R will be reduced by 1 by 4. Okay. So just
1
write
by
1 by 4 here.
Okay.
And the original resistance was R. So what answer you should write? R by 8.
1 by.
Okay.
This is much easier.
Sorry.
This is much easier.
This is very easy. You can do it in one step. And for example, if you want to do by that method, so rho 1 equals to rho 2, just equate them. Rho 1 is resistance 1 multiplied by area. Instead of area, I can write D, for example. It can be D square over length 1. What was length 1? Length was by L. R prime is unknown to us. Diameter, second diameter is 2D, so I can just put it as 2D whole square divided by second length is L by 2. I can put L by 2 here. Okay. Is it clear to all the step?
Yes.
Now you can take this L by 2 on this side. So L by 2 multiplied by R into D square over length equal to R prime into, just open this bracket. It will be 4D square. So you can see this length is cancelled by this length. This D square is cancelled by this D square. So what you will get? R prime equals to R by 8. You're getting the same answer. What was our answer here? It was R by 8. What is the answer now? It is R by 8. Okay, clear? So this would be the way by which, I mean, these are the two ways by which you can do the questions. So please be careful in attempting questions. Sometimes they give different resistivities just to confuse you, and they say that they have same length. So then you will equate the lengths. Okay. Should I do that
Yes, sir.
example?
Yes.
I think we should do that. Suppose if we say that length is same, only diameter is changing. Maybe this is D here, and its resistances are, its resistivity is rho. And now there's another wire which has same length and diameter is maybe 2d and resistivity is 2 rho. So what will be the new resistance? And the resistivity is different now. You need it's a different type of material of this wire. Maybe this is copper wire, maybe that is steel wire or whatever. Okay. Any type is different. So can someone calculate R prime and give me answer? At least you should try. In this case, how you can do this? Obviously, you can do it only with the help of formula now. You cannot do it directly. Okay. I'm waiting for you all. I hope all of you are calculating.
Yes, sir, I'm calculating.
Mm. एक MCQ है भाई MCQ में तो less than 2 minutes लगने चाहिए maximum. Be quick. So resistivity formula is R over L. So what should I do? I should make it L as a subject of the formula. So it should be RA over rho. So for example, this L1 equals to L2 because length is same. So I can equate two lengths.
So I'm getting R by 2.
Answer is R by
I'm
2.
getting R by 2. Not sure.
Let's check. Let's check. Let's check. Just let me check it. So resistance R is initial resistance is R. Diameter is d square over resistivity is rho. So new resistance we need to find out. Diameter is double now, so I can write it 4d square over 2 rho because resistivity is doubled. So this rho is cancelled by this, d square is cancelled by this, d square. So 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. So R prime equals to R by 2. Yes, you're right. You were right. Your answer was correct. Okay. Is it clear, students? So this was one of the way by which they can give you questions, and you should be ready to solve in any way. Sometimes they give same diameter and they ask you to find the resistance. They change the length and resistivity. Even they can ask you to find the diameter of the second wire if they keep the resistance same. Okay, so there can be many changings. It all depends on the designing of questions. Okay. But you should be very expert in dealing with such questions. I hope you will do this. You will be able to do it, inshallah. Okay. And now let me do the next topic. Next topic is basically one more thing. I didn't derive resistivity formula. I hope you know it. Should I do the derivations? It is one step only, deriving resistivity formula. We know that R is directly proportional to length. R is inversely proportional to cross-section area. So if we combine 1 and 2 equations, So combining 1 and 2. So it can be write like this: R is proportional to length over area altogether. So whenever we omit this proportionality sign, so we need to introduce a constant, and here this constant is called rho is constant of proportionality. And known as resistivity. Okay, and the rest of the things we have already done. The explanation about resistivity and everything, its units even. Okay, so it involves only 2 steps, you can see. And if they ask you to derive it, so you please do these steps. Okay. One more thing which came in my mind, which you should do this. Just a minute. I need to give the difference between resistivity and resistance. Oh, it's dancing. Yes. So there are a few points which I need to mention about the resistivity and resistance. Because I have seen in one of the papers, they ask you to write 2 differences between resistivity and resistance. So this can be resistance column and this can be resistivity column.
So we can write their formulas to show that they're different quantities. For example,
Yes,
resistance.
yes, you can write the formula. You can write the formula. The first point can be resistance can be calculated by V over I. This is one of the difference. And the corresponding first point here, resistivity can be equal to RA over L. Okay.
So we can also say resistance is ohm and resistivity is ohm meter.
Yes, 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 yes. But I think this is also one of the very important formula which I should write here. Resistance is opposition to flow of current. But here we can write that it is opposition to flow of charge. And it is atomic level, you can say. Got it? So this is also one of the major difference between. That can only affect the current, but it can directly affect the movement of the charges. Okay, then as you mentioned that R is measured in ohms. But here R is measured in ohm meter. There's also one more very important point that R may vary, but rho is fixed. It is not R, I'm sorry, it should be rho here. Rho is fixed for a specific material.
बेशक टेम्परेचर वगैरह चेंज कर लो पर इसकी रेजिस्टिविटी सेम रहेगी.
Exactly. So you can say that R can be affected by temperature. Very important point, Ali. So no effect of temperature even. Okay. And one more thing, if you remember, so R may vary, may you can just write these 2 points. R is directly proportional to length and R is inversely proportional to cross-section area. So, but it is independent of any variable, any change. So these will be enough. So at least you should write 2 or 3 points, or if they have asked to write 3